Welcome back. We got more proof that travel by Canadians to the U.S. is down significantly. Last month, down more than 20% in the air and more than 30% at border crossings, of course, a result of the trade war. Julian Karaguesian is a lecturer of economics at McGill University. He's advised federal finance ministers and worked at Canadian embassies. And it's good of you to join us, Julian.
Thank you for having me, Todd.
So what do you make of those numbers? Surprise you at all?
Well, I mean, they would have surprised me in the absence of, threats to make us a 51st state by the Trump administration and by before the tariff war. But I mean, it actually is a little bit surprising because the cross-border traffic by Canadians to the United States in automobiles, it's down almost 40%. It's down 37%, and it's the fifth straight month of decline. Even though tempers and tensions have eased a little bit, but so it is a little bit surprising. But again, given the aggressive posture of the Trump administration with respect to our sovereignty, and then on top of that, the tariffs, I think it's explicable.
Yeah. Would you expect those maybe to soften as we head into the peak of the summer travel season?
I think so, although there was a couple of interesting surveys done in May, and there's one of them, it was 55% of Canadians are planning to take a summer trip in either Canada or in another country during the summer. And so that's over half Canadians, but only 10% of that group that are planning to have a summer trip are planning to go to the United States. And last summer it was 25%, and so that's a sharp drop. And so I think, and if you look at, I was just scanning vacation areas just for economic reasons, and I was looking at Cape Cod and Maine, and there's a lot of availability on vacation sites because so many fewer Canadians are going, and that's also on the West Coast as well, and that also includes Florida. So it's it's quite a significant drop.
You're in Montreal. You're hearing a lot about folks staying away from, say, Old Orchard Beach. We know a lot of Maritimers go there as well, but it's a haven for Quebecers in the summer.
Yeah, and Old Orchard Beach, and it used to be Cape Cod was one of the biggest destinations, and bookings are down. It's very easy right now to find availability in either Old Orchard Beach or Ogunquit, or in fact right across Cape Cod this summer.
Let me sort of ask you, in the broader picture, we see Alberta and Saskatchewan putting American liquor back on shelves in those provinces. Should other provinces, and thinking particularly here in the Maritimes, should they ease up or even end retaliatory tariffs at this point?
I think that the way I've always made the point, especially in the last 6 months, that our retaliation should not be, so-called tit-for-tat retaliation, and because we end up, having less choice, higher prices, and we end up hurting, ordinary Americans that have nothing to do with this trade war, and we can defend ourselves in a trade war in other ways. So I think we should ease up on that and be ready to be tougher if we have to be in, in areas of government spending on procurement where we can have 100% or as close to 100% as possible a Buy Canadian stipulation if we need one. And there's many areas where we can have retaliation other than taking American liquor off our shelves.
The Prime Minister is quite bullish on having that July 1st deadline to eliminate interprovincial tariffs. Is that feasible, do you think? We've got a lot of them.
I don't think that all interprovincial tariffs will be able to be lifted, even though there's a huge incentive right now, and a lot of provinces are moving of their own accord. But I think the only ones that we can get rid of for sure by July 4th are any federal ones that accidentally interfere with interprovincial trade. But others may require changes in legislation. They may require, and they will require, changes in product standards, in very detailed regulations. But what we can do by July 1st is have the Prime Minister, the 10 premiers, and the 3 heads of our territories agree on a timeline for unwinding all these barriers, and that could be done certainly within a year. Okay. So July 1st, I think, is symbolic, but at least we could agree on a game plan for how to eliminate everything and have a truly single economy.
In the last 24 hours, CTV News is reporting sources inside government saying something, it's kind of cryptic, is in the works with the U.S. What do you think those talks might be heading towards, and what might be the best Canada can hope for?
I think the best we can hope for is to go back to pretty much a complete free trade arrangement with the United States. I don't think we're going to get that, but hope is a good thing. We can hope and we can do our best. But I think there'll be some kind of across-the-board tariff, maybe 10%. A victory would be to get these aluminum and steel tariffs off, particularly aluminum. Steel might be more difficult, but the Americans don't make a lot of aluminum, and Quebec alone supplies 60% of their aluminum imports. So it's really against the Americans' own interest to have aluminum tariffs. So I'm hoping that that's a low-hanging fruit and we can pick that one off. I hope we can get steel too, but one area of concern for me is that one thing where President Trump has been consistent on, even long before he became president, this goes back to the 80s, he's always been saying that American automobiles should be produced in the United States alone. And that's where I worry a bit for Ontario and the massive contribution of the automotive sector. And that's, I think, where we're going to need a very clear a plan B that can be implemented as quickly as possible by the Prime Minister and the government, because I do think that Donald Trump wants to repatriate the entire automobile industry.
I got about 10 seconds left. You think the auto pack is done?
I do, unfortunately. Yeah.
Julian Karaguesian, thank you very much from Montreal tonight. We appreciate your insight, and we'll talk again, no doubt.
Thank you, Todd. Take care.
We'll take a break. We've got much more after this. Stay with us.